As online harassment continues to be an issue, it turns out that there are some apps that are trying to mitigate that or at least combat that. Now, there's one company that just launched something known as HeartMob, and it's meant to be a support system for anyone who's experiencing hateful comments on any type of social media platform. Take a look.
No one needs to see your ugly face on this. I bet we can get her off the internet. Are you a girl or a boy? I know where you live.
So there are two types of people who sign up for this service. There are the supporters, which are the people that will respond to you after you fill out that form. And then there are those who feel like they're being harassed online. So the whole point is to help people with their self-esteem after they've been attacked, after they've posted a selfie or something like that. And I love the intentions behind it, but I think that it's not necessarily the right way to combat this issue.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, so I think that maybe some of the people who signed up to be supporters are genuine in writing back and saying, hey, you're great, no, you're actually beautiful, whatever it is. But it just seems fake, and it seems
almost
forced.
patronizing?
It's almost patronizing, exactly. Like, look, I get it. Online harassment is terrible, and it sucks, right? But I also don't need a group of people writing to me and telling me how great I am to make me feel better.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? So somebody once told me a great thing about that. I'm with you. I'm in that camp. Like if I took a picture, which I don't have to, there's some pictures of me on the internet, and people called me fat. Which have they ever done that on the internet? I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
No, probably not. But if that crazy circumstance were to happen, and then I wrote that up, and people were like, "No, you're not fat," I'd be like, "Oh yeah, come on, dude, I love you, but
beautiful.
You're just big bone."
Right, yeah.
Okay, so I'm with you on that. But I remember once I had a pretty bad sickness, and they were like, "Oh, there's a support group for that," and I laughed a little bit, like, "Yeah, I got it, dog." Right? Like, I don't need a support group of everybody telling me like, "Oh, we're all sick," and yeah, I know, and I got a doctor, and I'm working on it,
Yeah.
right? But the person that gave that to me said, "Yeah, but remember, not everybody's like you, right? And some people do need a support group, so don't be a dick."
No, I
And even
get it.
people who don't think they need it, it turned out it helped, right? You know.
Yeah.
But I feel like
didn't
those
go.
support groups are different.
You're a man.
That's right. I don't go to those things.
The whole purpose of those support groups is so you can find people who are going through the exact same thing you're going through, and you don't feel alone, right?
Right,
And so there's a sincere, authentic experience doing that. I'm just worried that this experience isn't going to be authentic and it's going to seem fake. That's, by the way, again, I don't want to be hard on this company. What they're doing is great. They have awesome intentions. I just don't know if it's going to be effective.
Right, and that's literal. We don't know. It might turn out to be great. Maybe they make real friendships, and then et cetera.
So there's two things. First of all, what is doxing? I saw that come up on the thing. And
Oh, I can tell you. You don't know it, right?
doxing? Oh, you know what it is?
Yeah,
You really don't know what doxing is?
No, I don't know what that is.
Doxing is when they put out your personal information online, including
Oh.
Yeah,
your
it's when they put your
address.
personal information out online, including your address.
Wait a minute.
Well, two things problem. So now if so most of the people who do the kind of online harassing are literally, losers, right? They're sitting in that whole cliche of sitting in their mom's basement and they have nothing else to do all day but sit online and get hate. And the crazier stuff they say, the more attention they get. So it's that negative attention. So now what's going to stop those people from also joining this iHeart meeting and then every once in a while jabbing someone through the iHeart mob?
Oh, interesting.
Oh, that's the first thing I thought of too.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're
I didn't want to suggest it because now they're all over.
Well,
I
I mean,
mean, if you're that big of a jerk, you'll do that.
Right, well, I mean, I'm sure it's easy to report that you didn't get that's illegitimate, and then they throw you off. So then you have to sign up again. It's just it takes it takes real commitment.
Yeah, but that's what trolls do. They're
is what-
super committed. They'll
Yeah.
spend all day.
All the different Twitter accounts people make just to come at me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? It's amazing. It's like you keep inventing.
Yeah, my favorite is like, you guys are irrelevant and not that big a deal. That's why I spent all day, all week, all month attacking
Watching
you.
everything you do and then attacking you nonstop.
I think
It's great that people watch this show the way I watch Meet the Press. It's great.
as a society we have to do something, and like, you know, mean people, petty people found a new way to be mean and petty, and it can be particularly horrible for people. You don't have again, I've said it a billion times, you don't have a right not to be offended or get insulted. You just don't. So, you know, look, you take a bunch of dumb pictures of yourself and put them on the internet.
Yes.
You know, stop taking pictures
Stop
of
doing
yourself.
it.
Stop taking pictures of yourself, just in general, as a rule. I mean, my poor daughter, you know, the only screen she gets to look at is the this kid's going to grow up, thinks every picture is of her, right? You know, and like, so I worry about that. But that said, I get it. People are horrible and mean, and every step we take as a society to combat that in a meaningful way is good, because at some point, I'd like to get to the point, we all would, where that just seems like where even mean people are like, oh, you know what, what am I doing? You know, I'm going to go get myself something to drink. And it takes, I think, a conscious efforts like this to, you know, big moments where news media will cover it to make them aware that this is not a way to go. I hope.
I just want to say one thing about that. We want to get it to a point where people realize that there is another human being at the end of that, you know, keyboard, internet, whatever it is, right? So, like, when you say it online, it's not like a non-human receives it.
Right.
A human receives it. And so we happen to be particularly thick-skinned, which we need to do this job, right? But not everybody is as thick-skinned. And so hurting somebody's feelings online doesn't make it any better. Right? And you just saying, like, yeah, that's how it is online. That's how it is. Doesn't make it right. I mean,
Right.
yes, in boxing, people punch each other in the face. Doesn't mean you should do it in other contexts.
Right.
I don't know if that's a great analogy, but now we're never going to stop it completely, because you remember that kid in high school who was just dying to get attention no matter what, and would do the stupidest things in the world, and would be annoying and would say terrible things about.
He'd host a pro Gulf War rally, like in school. Like a kid like that who would just do anything to have people pay it. Look at me, look at me. Yeah.
Okay, so every school has at least one of those, and that's a lot of folks in the world, and you're never going to stop those guys, because that's what they get validation from. I just want to limit it to just those guys. Do you see what I'm saying?
How pathetic is it when you have to get validation through being a terrible human being?
Yeah, well, it is sad.
Yeah,
it is.
I feel bad for them. It doesn't even make
No,
me
their
angry.
life. No, like putting aside, like putting them down and all this
Yeah.
stuff. No, it's genuine that their life does suck, right? Because they're obviously not getting good attention, and from people that should love them. Like, if you got positive attention from your parents, your family, your friends, you wouldn't need to get negative attention in the way that they're getting.
Right.
So the people that are dying for negative attention, almost none of them have a good life. Almost all of them are driven to that by a pretty bad existence. So, I mean, maybe I'm being too lib here, but I do feel bad for them. Like, oh man, your life probably sucks pretty bad. And it sucks that you got hurt that way, and you think the only way to get attention is to hurt other people back.